Here we are in downtown Pittsburgh. We're at the point, the confluence of the three rivers. That's the Monongahela on the left, converging with the Allegheny River on the right to form the Ohio River straight ahead, which goes on for about 1,000 miles to Mississippi. And I'm standing here where Fort Duquesne originally stood. That's the outline of the original French fort. The French built this fort in 1754. It was just after they ran the Virginians off of this site. Virginians had an original fort they called Fort Prince George. It was very small, and the French ran them out and built this Fort Duquesne. They had about 500 French soldiers here, and they had allied with the Native Americans, of course. And George Washington came up here during that time frame. He was sent by the Virginians to basically go scout out the situation, and in 1754 he made a trip up here, but he came upon the French and Native Americans over there just about 60 miles southeast of here, which is now Jumonville Glen. And he ambushed a group of French and Native Americans, and those were the first shots fired of the French and Indian War. And then about a year later, General Braddock was sent towards Pittsburgh to basically try to take out the French from this site. And he got all the way as far, about 10 miles from here, upriver on the Monongahela. And at Turtle Creek, he was ambushed by the French and Native Americans and was killed. George Washington then took over that army. And then actually 3 years later, General Forbes came up to this site in 1758 with about 6,000 men, and ultimately he was successful, and the French knew what was coming. They abandoned this site before he got here, and that was in 1758, and this little plaque here tells that story. And the French actually burned their fort down just before the British got here, and then the British set up another fort of their own on the same site. It was called Fort Pitt, and that's the history of how Pittsburgh got its name. Standing here at the point, downtown Pittsburgh, where Marty and I started our trip on the Great Allegheny Passage.